Hi all, welcome back to my channel. So previously we have seen that how do we play around dynamic selectors with the help of CSS selectors, and today we're going to discuss about fuzzy selectors. So what are fuzzy selectors? How will fuzzy selector help us in making our automation as flexible as possible or as dynamic as possible? So from the name, we can guess that fuzzy is a string matching technique to sort strings or to search the attributes in our selectors which are not 100% match, and they match the specific pattern approximately rather than matching them exactly. And you can also declare the number or the percentage value with which you have to match in the similarity. So let's see the syntax and let's see how can we mention the percentage value by which we have to match in the similarity. So this is the selector. This is how we write in the selector. So we write matching, then we mention in our attribute name or the title that whether we'll be matching a name or which of the property we have to match. And then we mention it fuzzy, and then we mention in the fuzzy level, giving the same title that this particular attribute is fuzzy and the level is, so this level indicates basically the percentage similarity. So it can be any value between 0.1 to 1. So if it's closer to 0, that means the least similar to this particular pattern would be returned. And as we move on to towards 1, 0.9 or 1 or 0.8, it's the most similar thing which matches the particular string or the particular regular expression which we have passed. So this is the syntax. Also, if you have more than one thing on the page which matches this fuzzy logic or which matches the dynamic thing or which matches the string or variable you have passed in. So if you have multiple, like more than one satisfying that condition, so whichever is found first or whichever occurs on the page first would then be returned. So these are some of the tags which as for now supports fuzzy logic, or fuzzy selectors in UiPath. So if it's a window tag, WND, if it's an HTML tag, if it's a web control tag, if it's a Java tag, if it's a control tag. So control tag you usually get in when you save in a file, or yeah, or when you get that file already exists, you want to replace it. On all such pop-ups, you get this control tag having control and some ID and some other attributes. Then is SAP tag, wherein you deal with all the SAP screens, and RDP is this remote desktop thing. So therein you get those tags. So these are the few tags which supports fuzzy logic or fuzzy selectors as of now in UiPath. And now let's see how to implement this whole thing. So, okay. So this is that RP challenge website. So now, suppose if we have to click on this particular date, so it's just an example, or if you have to click on somewhere which is not fixed something or which keeps on changing, or it's user dependent something. So it's not sure that every time the user would pass in the same thing. It could be case sensitive that once it passes something in capital and then it passes it in lowercase. So things like that can be tackled with the help of fuzzy selectors. So now suppose you have to click on this thing or you have to highlight it. You won't be able to click it. So as for now, for the demo purpose, we'll use the highlight activity to see if it highlights or not. And similarly, if it highlights, that means that you can tweak this thing in any of your use case and use it to click or use it to type. So let's drag in an attach window. And also you can use this fuzzy selectors in your attach window. If you do SAP automation and if you keep on changing screen in a particular transaction code, so many a times some small thing keeps on changing in the title. Let's suppose now you are on the SAP screen, home screen, and when you execute the screen code, you go on to some initial screen. So some small things keeps on changing in the attached window title. So there also you can make a use of this fuzzy selector so that whenever you change window, it would not cause the selector to break because we've already used that, okay, there shouldn't be an exact match, but there could be an approximate match. So you can use this fuzzy logic even when you play around attach window, when you keep on changing the window. So we'll use this highlight thing, and let's first use UI Explorer to indicate. Okay, so we have got this table column. So this is the web control tag I was talking about. So as for now, let's use AA name and remove this table column and tag TD. So we have this, that we have this AA name. So one thing could be that we use the selector as it is and have an exact match, that okay, if the date is 7/10/2020, then click on it or type on it. But what if we want to make it dynamic, so that if it's 7/10, no matter if it's 2021 or it's 2022, the match should be there. So for that, what we're going to do is, so we have seen already that how the selector, how can we define this thing? We have seen the syntax. So what we're going to do is, here we're going to pass in our variable name, which we'll be defining. So we say, okay, there'll be a variable ABC. And now if we look at the syntax, what we'll be doing is we'll be writing matching title, and then in single quotes, we'll be writing fuzzy. So similarly, we'll be writing matching colon title. So now title would be our AA name. Okay. And we'll be writing fuzzy. Okay. Now, if you look at the syntax, now what we're going to write is fuzzy level title, and we'll be giving some value. So we'll write fuzzy level semicolon title, and our title is AA name, and we'll be giving some value. So we given 0.8 suppose. So that's an 80% match. Okay. Now let's copy this thing and paste it here in the target. So we click on edit selector, we'll be pasting this thing here and clicking on OK. And to this ABC variable, we'll be passing some value. So we'll be creating a variable, say ABC, and we'll be passing it 07. And what's the month name? So it's 10. And we'll not be passing in the year, so that whatever year it is, even if it's 100 years from now, if the date is 07 and the month is 10th month, so it should be validated. Okay, so let's click on run and see if it validates this thing or not. So how we will get to know whether it validates or not? So we have used a highlight activity. So it would highlight that particular thing on the screen, and by this way we'll get to know that okay, our selector which we've created with the help of fuzzy logic has been executed well. So let's wait for the control to highlight it. Okay, so because it's taking too long, maybe the selector won't get highlighted. So we'll wait for the timeout to finish, which is usually 30 seconds. So, okay, so it is saying that cannot find UI element corresponding to the selector. So what reason I think could be that we have set it to be an 80% match, and maybe that 80% thing isn't working. So what if we make it to be a 60% match and try executing once again? Let's see if this time it works. Okay, so it is highlighted. So this way you will have to identify and see the structure and accordingly decide on what should be the percentage of the fuzzy level you put in so that it accordingly acts. So I can do similar thing. So suppose you are having a user input, and accordingly you'll have to perform some action. So what if I drag in here an input dialog box? So it will act in the same way that once you have an input dialog box and the user enters something, and accordingly you have to take an action, in your process. So you have the value then in some variable, and you can just place this variable in your selector like we've done. So we have just created a variable. Instead of creating, the user could also assign some value, and you can accommodate that value to a variable and use that variable in your selector. So it's not necessary that the user every time passes the same exact string. It could be a small change, that suppose one time the user is passing ABC and the other time it is passing ABC. So this is not an exact match. And UiPath somewhat treats selector as case sensitive. So this is not an exact match. So in this case, the fuzzy selector is going to help you a lot. So you can make this thing that, okay, whether user passes ABC or ABC small. So whether the A is in caps lock or it's not, the selector should get validated. So herein you can place that, okay, matching title fuzzy, wherein you're going to place your attribute or property name, whether it's AA name or it's division. So anything it could be. So you can have call name, inner text, parent class, anything which you think is unique and would get validated by when you place that thing in your selector can be used here. And yes, and accordingly you can decide on a fuzzy level that whether it should be 0.2, that is a 20% match, or a 40% match, or a 90% match, whatever you think would suit your automation thing or would fit in your automation thing. So you saw that when we put it at as an 80% match, it was not getting validated. But when we reduced it to 60%, it got validated. So accordingly, you'll have to decide on a fuzzy level. And suppose if I had this thing that 710 was written here also and 710 was written somewhere above this also. So the first occurrence, whichever is there on the screen, would get validated. So for that, what we can do is, so if we see, so this 2020 is everywhere. Okay. So what we're going to do is, we can do this thing that is 10 present anywhere? Yeah. So we see this 10, 2020 are present 2 times. So if we make a fuzzy string in a way that it matches only this 1020 and does not consider the 725. So one way is that we take into consideration regular expression, but that we'll see later in the video or in next video. But as of now, if I talk about fuzzy logic, so maybe we can do something around it. So now if I say 10, 20, 20. So it will be finding this 10, 20, 20 and it will get this thing twice. So once here it will get this 10, 20, 20 and the next here it will get 10, 20, 20. And we'll have to obviously reduce the percentage maybe. So maybe this 60% could even work, but just to be very sure, I'll just reduce the matching percentage to be 0.3 maybe. And let's see which row it's going to highlight, the first one or the last one, because both are somewhat matching. Yeah, so it has, highlighted the first one and not the last one. Okay, I'll just open the screen this time so that it's visible clearly. So whenever you have two confusing thing on your web page, whatever the first occurrence would be returned by the selector. So it's not that your selector is gonna fail if there are if there are more than one occurrences on the web page, the fuzzy selectors are gonna fail. It's not the case. If there are more than one occurrence, the first occurrence would then be returned. So that's all for this part of the video covering fuzzy selectors. I hope you've enjoyed this video and do try this in your automation to make your selectors more dynamic. Use it in attach window so that whenever you change in screen and there is a little change in the title of the window, your selectors do not throw errors. And please like, share and subscribe the video and stay tuned for the regular expression usage in your selectors. Thank you.